Hello everyone, Sanzala here. I've put together some information about the Talkies for the Berimbau for you to learn and to practice. We use the Talkies of both Mestre Pastilla and Mestre Bimba, and at the end of the day, it's our goal to learn them all. This is the song that I found super helpful when I was learning the names of the 7 toques of Mestre Bimba, which is the name of the song, Toques of Bimba, Contra Mestre Pequenas. You can see there's a link there to the YouTube video of him singing it. Really beautiful song. Basically, it means it's essential to know the fundamentals. If you want to respect the history of Mestre Bimba, you have to learn so that you don't make mistakes and so that you play as the Berimbau commands. His hymn is Santa Maria. The toque of alert is Cavalaria. Una is for formados at festivals and at Batzado. Salbento Grande is an above game, an upright game. Idalina is the toque of variations. Benguela is for intermediates. And Amazonas is the toque of salutation. Again, listening to the toques, playing the toques, using the words for them are super helpful for me in learning, and I think other people find that as well. But I also really like to write things down. So I've developed this little key, notation key for writing down the notes that we play in the toques. I kind of want to call these the big 5. These are the 5 toques that we hear most commonly in our Hada. So they're from week to week, they're the ones that you kind of really need to know. So I've written them out so you can kind of learn them, practice them, play them. But also for myself, I really like I found it helpful to have this visual because they really are an exercise in recycling. There's just like 2 or 3, like 3 kind of sounds that are used, but just the way they're configured and the timing, the rhythm completely changes them. So here are the big 5 kind of written out so you can really get a handle on learning them. Following are slides of the various toques written out, the big 5, as well as some additional ones so that you can really learn them and practice them. They're played super slow, so hopefully, as you're adding these to your repertoire, they're at a speed where you're able to really get into it. Before we move along to the other toques, there's 2 things that I want to point out about Angola, a couple of mistakes that I made when I was learning, and I think are pretty common. The first is that kashishi rattle at the end. You want to be cognizant of not lifting your arm up and coming down with a big crack on the kashishi because that slows your time. So you're going to kind of get out of time. You want to make sure that that kashishi rattle doesn't take up any more space than your high note and your low note did. The other thing is when you are transitioning from your low note to your high note, you want to be careful that you're not adding an extra sound, that you're not touching your arami with your pedra before you strike it. So I'm going to play it a couple times in the incorrect way. And I remember so well doing that when I was starting. But we want to really get to the point where we are just having just two sounds, your low note and your high note. So when you're playing Angola, you're just going to have your 3 or 4 sounds, your rattles, your low note, your high note, and then either your kashishi or silence. Coming up is Iuna, and there is a really unique sound that we want to produce in that rhythm. That for some of the open notes, you strike the open note and then interrupt it by touching the arame with the pedra. And it just is, it just creates an unusual sound that's unique to that rhythm. And then for some of the open notes, there's also the belly bounce, bouncing the kabasa off of the body to get that nice wah-wah sound. So this is a rhythm that's so good to know, but requires a lot of practice because it's just a little bit unusual. I've just included a couple of extra rhythms, a super pared down simple samba de roda, and also miudinho, because they are both so popular. I hope this was helpful. I hope it promotes your learning and your enjoyment of the berimbau. Looking forward to hearing you in the roda. Ashe.